Hey friends, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to continue decorating in my living room. I've got a couple of areas that I want to concentrate on, meaning my antique trunk right here, which is my coffee table, and then behind the couch. And then I got one other cabinet that I want to share with you guys. And that will pretty much wrap up my living room. And then the next week we're going to jump into my dining room. And I also going to share with you some of my sister's home as well. So friends, thank you for being here. But y'all, let's get started. So here's what everything looks like with everything cleared off my couch, behind my couch, and of course my trunk, which I use as a coffee table. And so now let's bring in all the goodness, friends. The next thing I wanted to really add were these lanterns. They were on my dining room table for pre-fall, but I went ahead and just moved them right here because I think this is going to be the perfect spot for them. I left the ribbon and everything on there. I changed out the battery, so everything is working. And so now let's start adding in all the goodness. So I gathered a few stems that I want to use, and so this is what I'm going to use behind my couch. We're going to start there, and I've got this gorgeous stem of oak leaves, and this came from Hobby Lobby. Of course, all these have come from Hobby Lobby, but I'm just going to use one stem. They're absolutely beautiful, and I'm just going to bend this stem since it's extra long, and I'm going to just put it behind this huge corbel that I got. And so I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to spread out those leaves so that it's really going to cascade across the whole trunk. So just a trick to make this feel a little more secure, I'm going to take this lantern and I'm going to run it in between those legs that's right there. That's going to hold it more in place because I want one of these stems to kind of go the other direction, which I'm going to try to bend it that way. But I think once I have everything else up here, it's going to work out perfectly. I love these stems so much from Hobby Lobby. They had them last year and I grabbed them. I actually bought a few more this year and I might just need a few more because they're just that good. I love that beautiful rust color. I just think it adds a pretty touch to your stems, and so I'm going to use just two of them because that's all I actually have left. I'm going to put them right in this arrangement right here, and then one of the leaves fell off, and so I'm going to take one of those leaves and just add it to the end. And friends, that is going to tie this all together. So now that I have my foliage in place, now let's go ahead and grab the pumpkins. So as you can see, I've got this white one, which is a realistic one I got from Hobby Lobby this year. Most of these are fake that I've glued on a real stem. This one, the stem came off, but that's fine because I'm going to use it just like it is. So I'm going to layer this pumpkin in here first, and then let's go ahead and build up on top of that. I've got this beautiful white pumpkin, and again, I just used a real stem that I had kept from season to season. I know I've said that many times here, but if you buy real pumpkins, save the stems because look how much it has transformed just these two simple little pumpkins that I have. I just think it really elevates the look. So I'm loving the way this looks. So let's work on the other side. Um, this one is going to set too low. So I'm going to grab something I can use as a riser. I just have this little hope chest and I'm just going to set it right here. And then on top of it, I'm going to place this pumpkin. And I love this pumpkin. I've got several of these. I've got a couple of white ones and then I have this orange one. I just love the stem on these. I think they're so pretty and unique. And so I just love incorporating those into my home every single year. So the last place, I want to fill this hole that's right here with this little brown velvet pumpkin. This came from Walmart last year. And again, I just replaced the stem. But look how this is looking. I just think it's so pretty the way it kind of cascades over. And it's hard to believe I really only used one of those big green oak leaf stems in this arrangement. So I'm loving this so far. But you know what? I have these stems as well, and this comes on a long bunch, and I kind of clipped it apart because I wanted to use it in several places, and the stem was just so long. So I'm just going to tuck a few of these in place, and I think this is just going to give it even a more whimsical look. And again, since I've used so much of this mustard color in my living room, I want to carry that color throughout. So that's why I decided to add these right here. So now that we have the back of my couch looking all cozy for fall, now let's work on this couch. I think it definitely needs some coziness, so I'm going to bring in this beautiful little throw that I got on Amazon last year. It was at such a great price, and so it's not the softest little throw that you'll ever find, but it is definitely such a pretty color, and I just want to layer it on my couch. So I'm going to start with this one right here. I just think it brings in such warmth to any of your spaces. So now that I have that down, I'm going to grab my other favorite throw, and this one I got from Target last year. My friend Dawn over at Ginger Jar Lane, she shared this in her haul last year, and the second she shared it, I thought, I need this in my life. It is one of my most favorite little throws. Again, I got it from Target. It's just beautiful. I just love this color. Now for the pillows, I didn't buy any new ones. This is just a brown velvet one that I have. And then I'm going to bring in this gorgeous pillow that I got last year. I absolutely love these. These are by far my most favorite pillow covers, and I will link them for you guys. They are amazing, and they really are a reasonable price. But you can see how much cozier just these pillows made my couch look and feel. I just love all the warmth that it brought to this area. Okay, so now let's decorate my antique trunk, and I'm going to use this same wood base. I just love this, and I love having it right here, so I'm just going to keep it here. And you know what? I have so much going on throughout my home. I had actually made something completely different than this, but it was just too overpowering, and so I just took it down. And so I used the same wreath last year, but I love it. I got it on Amazon. Again, I'll link it if any of you are interested. But it's just beautiful. It's got the most beautiful colors. I love how wispy it is. I love that you can bend these stems. They can go up or down or out or whichever way you want them. And I love it to look full and wispy. So just by bending it, you can really create a gorgeous look. Now I do have a few of these other stems from Hobby Lobby left over, and again I'm just trying to tie everything in this room together to make it feel more cohesive. So I just have a few that I pulled off of a big stem of them, and I'm just gonna weave them in and out this wreath. You don't have to do this by any means, but I just thought it would kind of tie everything together, and again just make my room feel a little more cohesive. And again, this mustard color is the color that I'm really gravitating towards this year, and I'm just trying to incorporate it in every little area that I can. So to dress up the center, I just have a piece of this burlap. It's just like a ribbon, and I'm just going to lay it down in the center. And I have gone back and forth a million times trying to decide what I wanted to do. But this is what I landed on, and I really like it. Now this is just a pottery piece. I've got a little vintage napkin inside, and then I've got some old paper that's crumbling, but I like that look. I mean, y'all might think I'm crazy, and I probably am somewhat, but that's okay. I mean, just do what you love. I love the texture of this. I've got some burlap string, some paper shred. It's just all kind of mixed together. Now I'm going to grab a few things that I can use to kind of place inside this to make this look like what I'm trying to create. And I couldn't find a frame that I thought I could use that would work here, but this one. I know it's got the word Grace, but that's okay. It's really not going to show, but I want that frame to show, and the little pieces of the black that peek through are really going to tie in with this squirrel. Now I have the squirrel elevated on just a little box inside this container, and so it'll stand up and be a little more secure. I've got this gorgeous thrifted frame, and I just printed off this picture, stuck it inside, and I'm just going to place it right here. And I just think that is such a pretty look. It's creative, it's different. I mean, I could put a candle under here, I could have put a pumpkin under here, but I just thought it would work so much better with this. So that's what I'm trying to create. Now these are some acorns that Easton and I found when we were out one weekend at the park, and we were all there playing, and this tree had these gorgeous huge acorns, and so I left them out so they would dry, and maybe hopefully there won't be any bugs in them, but I'm just going to use them. I think they're beautiful, and again, one of my most favorite things to do is bring the outside in. Friends, I really like the way this is coming together. And I did have this squirrel in a different spot when I decorated earlier with you guys. It was on the entry table. But you know what? I moved it, and I think he works better right here. But you know what? To make this look better, what does it need? A cloche. Everything looks better under a cloche. So I'm going to add this huge cloche, and then just to bring in that finishing touch, I'm just going to add a velvet ribbon, which will tie with the same velvet ribbon I have over on those lanterns. So the last place in my living room that I want to share with you is this area right over by my TV. And so I've got this little cabinet, and I went ahead and styled it a little bit ahead of time, which I'll share with you. I just added some dry leaves that I've saved from year to year. I just think they're really pretty. Add that right there by my clock. In this basket, again, I love this packing material. I just tucked some of that in, and then some of this greenery that is also in the fall florals at Hobby Lobby. I think that stuff is so pretty. So I've got that tucked in there as well. So that's all I'm going to do to this area right here. So now let's move over to this little cabinet and decorate it. So these pieces were already here for pre-fall, but I thought I would go ahead and just use them again. So I've got this vase. This was thrifted, and of course these picks right here came from Hobby Lobby. I love these. I've got 3, but I'm actually going to only use 2 of these because I think 3 is a little bit overpowering. I also have these hops, and these are picks from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to tuck a couple of those in here as well. Again, I've used these hops throughout my living room, and so again, I'm just trying to make this look cohesive since my home is so small and not spread out. Like if my home was bigger and spread out, I just feel like everything would probably look so much better. But you know, you can only work with what you have, and this is what I have. And I do love all of these fall things, and so I do have them everywhere. But again, you know, I always say just do what you love. And speaking of things I love, this beautiful compote dish with this brown transferware was given to me by my friend Jody. Thank you, Jody. I love this so much. And I pretty much kept it the same as I styled it earlier. But as you can see, I just tucked in another one of those sweet little books that I used earlier this week in my decorating. And that's all I'm going to do. I think these bottles, these acorns, I just think it is so beautiful. Of course, anything in brown transferware is going to be beautiful. So again, here's a couple more of these books. I just think these are so pretty. And I'm going to lay those down. And then the last thing I'm going to add to the top of this is this gorgeous heavy leaf dish that I got. It's got Japan stamped on the back, and I got this at the thrift store last year, and you know what? I just love it. It's so amazing what you can find when you're out thrifting. You guys will have to let me know, are y'all big thrifters? So to style this little cabinet, I pretty much have things mainly the way they were before, with just a few exceptions. I added that brass bowl there, and inside I just have some of these mustard color berries, and I'm just going to pop in this little pumpkin. It's going to mirror what I've done to the bottom shelf, and that way it definitely complements each other. I'm going to tuck in this sweet little hops wreath, and that will complete the first shelf. And the only other thing I'm going to add to this is just some amber bottles. As you can see, when we move down to the second shelf, I have this beautiful mold, and I thrifted this piece right here last year. I love it. It's so beautiful. So I wanted to display that for fall, definitely. And then I'm just going to tuck in these few little amber bottles. Friends, I'd just like to say thank you so much for being here and watching. If you would give us a thumbs up, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed this content, we would love it if you would consider subscribing. We have so many more fall videos that we want to share with you. I'm going to be sharing my dining room, my sister's home, and of course my front porch. So thank you for being here and watching. And friends, I would like to ask you if you'd please continue to lift Angie from the Bumblebee Farmhouse in your prayers. Please lift up her husband Danny and her family as well. I know that they all would greatly appreciate it. Before I go, I'd like to share with you this beautiful Bible verse. Set your minds on the things above, not on the things that are on earth. Colossians 3:2. Friends, I feel in my spirit that the Lord could come back anytime. I mean, we don't never know the day or the hour when our Heavenly Father will return. But I just pray that you will be ready, and that if your family doesn't know the Lord, that you will talk to them about Jesus, share his love with others. And friends, that's the greatest thing we can do. Friends, thank you for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you. And friends, we look forward to seeing the next one. Bye, y'all.